Welcome to FlavorWise. I'm Dana Mallinger, registered dietitian nutritionist. It is my passion to inspire and empower you to achieve your full health potential using real food with exquisite flavor. This episode is sponsored by Moulter's Fresh Market. Steak is often regarded as bad, especially for heart health. As a dietitian that works with weight management, I find it important to understand how to balance our meals and enjoy a flavorful steak while following a heart-healthy diet. Today, we will meet with Moulter's Fresh Market Butcher and choose a cut of meat. We'll choose low-sodium flavorings to complement the natural meat flavor. So before we get cooking, let's head to the grocery store and pick out those ingredients. Here's our shopping list. We have Mike over here, who is one of the butchers at Moulter's Meat Market. Hello, Mike.
Hello.
If a customer was looking for a lean steak, what would you suggest that they look for?
If they want a lean steak, I would go with the top sirloin. Sirloin tip is also very lean. We also have petite sirloin steaks here. On a ribeye steak, there's a little bit more fat, a little more marbling. Same with the New York strip steak. So all the white specks in there is the marbling.
So sirloin tends to be one of the leanest cuts.
Yes. At Moulter's, we cut certified Angus beef.
Okay.
And it's all choice or higher. Like if somebody comes in and says, I want a ribeye, one for me and one for my wife. And I want one this thick, and my wife wants one about that size.
Good.
We'll sure cut it.
We are back at the studio to prepare our steak with two guests, Jared and Whitney. You guys are the testers to tell us how flavor-wise our steak is. We have two tenderloins. This cut of steak is about a 5-ounce cut.
I'm a bigger guy.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that and I'm thinking I'm gonna be hungry in like 20 minutes.
Actually, our body, for protein, we best use 20 to 30 grams per meal. If we get over that 20 to 30 grams per meal, what happens is that the physiological functions take too long and they get stored as fat. So even when I was working with football players, 20 to 30 grams is their best for function, build muscle, and reduce the chances of it getting stored as fat. So now if you were to have higher protein needs than what, say, a woman would have, you're going to have another serving a couple hours later. The next we're going to do is prep our olive oil-based fast marinade. For the marinade, I'm just going to get in and dirty and rub it in. We want to rub those flavors in as much as possible. Okay, so we have that. I'm going to wash my hands. Now, asparagus is one of my favorites to pair with the steak. The flavors complement really well. Because the end can be a little woody, my trick is just kind of push in with your knife and see where it easily goes through. Then we know that we're in the tender part. These have a high amount of fiber in them. An entire cup is about 40 calories. Low calories, high in fiber. It provides the bulk because fullness a lot of it can be on the bulk of what we eat, not necessarily the calorie content. Now, what's great is that this was really high in fiber, so those fiber calories are free calories. We don't absorb them. So they help keep you fuller longer, and if you don't absorb them, you don't have to burn them. Freebies. Yeah. I chose a large portobello mushroom as another non-starchy vegetable to pair with our steak tonight. It can be a challenge sometimes with the kids to get them to eat the non-starchy vegetables, right? So we're going to start cooking.
Cooking is the second best part of the meal.
It is.
Eating
yes.
being the best.
So what's good about cooking?
The smells.
That's what. Yeah, exactly.
It's when I was a kid, my mom would put a roast in at night when we went to bed, and put it on low, and then we'd wake up in the morning, and it was like it's the best way to wake up ever because you wake up with that smell, and you're just like you're immediately awake. You don't have to. You're not groggy because you're like yes. You run upstairs and everybody's doing that thing.
Right.
Best part.
It smells. The griddle is very hot. That's going to be important to sear these steaks. We want to cook them exterior temperature, about 145 degrees. Hard to take exterior temperature, so we will test the inside, but assuring that the griddle is hot, we'll make sure we get up to 145. The best way to determine that is using a thermometer. About 120 to 130 degrees is a medium rare. We're getting some good texture there. I'm going to push the limit of this grill, and I'm going to add a little bit of tomato. So we're going to temp it and see where we're at. Oh, we're up to 120. So we're going to let those sit, let them rest for a minute. We're going to plate now. So it looks great. Everything is cooked. We did have potatoes in the oven. You're about quarter of the plate with your portion of meat. And then your non-starchy vegetables cover about half. Our potatoes, although they are a vegetable, they are a starchy vegetable. Starchy vegetable is going to be about 80 to 100 calories for a half a cup versus our 1 cup at 40. Oh, run away.
That was Whitney's.
Taste is going to be the key, right? You guys are the testers, so you're gonna have to let me know how the taste is. Whenever you're ready.
That's crazy that you can taste the rosemary that like easily. Like I thought, I kind of would have thought I would have had to like hunt for it, you know?
Yeah, that's really
cool.
good.
That's really good.
And that was a pretty short marinade.
Right, if you were to marinate it overnight in a baggie to really make sure those flavors infuse, you'll definitely get a much richer palate.
And you said, what did you put with the potatoes?
Parsley.
Just parsley?
Just parsley and a little bit of olive oil. Yep.
I love asparagus. The mushrooms are really good.
Good.
They're perfect. They don't have anything on them, do they? They just are really
Just
good.
grilled.
I watched you cook it, so I know that you didn't lie. However, if you had said there are no seasonings on this mushroom, I would have called you a liar if I did not know.
I agree. Yeah, for
this
sure.
is the most, like, watching it was very cool. I had some doubt about the mushroom because I'm like, I've tasted mushrooms before. I know what they taste like, and I can honestly say I don't generally eat them without any, with no seasoning.
Butter and salt and
And then I had it, I'm like, oh, that's really good. And then I thought, I was like, wait a second, you didn't put anything on them. That's crazy.
Nope,
Like,
just grilled them.
Wow.
I think there's something really special about sitting down, like with your family and like having a meal and eating. And even like you mentioned, like just cathartic, like watching people cook, cooking with them. I think cooking is kind of a lost art that's having like a resurgence in our communities, and I think it's really cool to do that together.
I should let my kids watch me cook more.
Definitely.
Let them see the transformation, like, oh, it's this raw meat, and it becomes this really neat thing, and let them share in that process. Like, I think, I don't know, like I said, I'm kind of inspired to be like, hey, we should cook together more, because usually I'm just
They
like,
learn
leave me
it.
alone so I can cook, but
Yeah, here's my time.
So next episode, please join me for preparing nachos. It is one of my favorite meals. I remember when my son asked me, Mom, if you were trapped on a desert island, what food would you bring if you could only choose one? And I would choose nachos. Why? Nachos have the best variety. And from a dietitian's perspective, we can also make them balanced with the whole grains. But we'll get into that more next episode. Thank you for joining me with FlavorWise, where I want to inspire you to live empowered.